Hello again, comic fans, and welcome once again to Massive Nerds Comic of the Week, this time for January 26, 2011. And oh man, was there a lot to choose from this week. We had Uncanny X-Force issue 4, which managed to blend perfect amounts of action and comedy with drama and character development. We had New Mutants 21, a fantastic end to Zeb Wells' run on the title. It was a great resolution to his story, as well as setting up the characters for whoever picks up that title again in the future. We had the end of one event in Chaos War, as well as the beginning of another in Age of X Alpha, not to mention a whole lineup of other great titles this week. Clearly, January 26th was a great week to be a comic fan, if not a great week to be said fan's wallet. But of course, there is really only one comic that could be the comic of the week, and that is none other than Fantastic Four issue 587. It is the fifth part of the 3 storyline, subtitled The Last Stand, by Jonathan Hickman with beautiful, beautiful art by Steve Epting. And this is, of course, the much-publicized issue where one of the members of Marvel's first family would bite the dust. Now, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding the issue. Not so much with the death of the character himself, it's not the first time a high-profile character has been killed, but there's definitely some good points being made out there that if Marvel only publicizes their comics when they kill someone, that's really going to be the public's perception of Marvel. That's all they do is they kill their big characters. It doesn't really do much to further comics as a medium, and I really think it's something Marvel has to look at going forward into the future. But that's completely irrelevant when it comes to the discussion about this issue itself. And I've got to tell you, Jonathan Hickman has definitely created a fan in me. I've been liking his work in Secret Warriors. S.H.I.E.L.D. is a bit over my head, but his work on Fantastic Four has been amazing. Now, I haven't read anything prior to the 3 storyline. I really want to go back and read some of his previous work on Fantastic Four over the last year. But on its own, this storyline has been absolutely amazing. He's set up 4 very possible scenarios for his characters dying. You've got Reed Richards out in space dealing with a pissed-off Galactus. You've got Sue down at the bottom of the ocean trying to act as an emissary for Namor. And if anybody's been reading Marvel at all ever, they know Namor and diplomacy are not 2 words that should be used in the same sentence. Meanwhile, you've got Johnny Storm and a depowered Ben Grimm back at the Baxter Building with all these kids, who I have no idea who they are, when the Baxter Building is about to become the point of attack for the next annihilation wave out of the negative zone. Absolutely anything could have happened here. Of course, I called it because I'm awesome. But Hickman also laid a great groundwork in the previous issues. I've been reading some articles here and there, interviewing Hickman, looking back at his previous work on Fantastic Four. There really was a solid plan going in here. This wasn't a character's death just for the publicity. There is a great story told here. And I'm not going to ruin who it is it's killed off, although it's been out for a week and this is the internet. The spoilers are out there. And if you haven't read this by now, get on it. It's a great issue. The character they decide to kill off goes out like an absolute champ, a great death, doing the heroic thing, sacrificing himself to save innocence when there's really no options left. That's what you want a hero to be. Now, if this story had been told on its own without all the publicity surrounding it, this would have been a huge moment, right up there with the death of Captain America for Marvel. But again, on its own, it is not bad at all. It is a very well-written issue. You get to the end, and there's emotion there. Like, I got a little chill up my spine when I got to those last couple pages. It is great work of writing by Hickman, and Steve Epting coming through on the art. Holy crap, I love this guy's style, going back to his work on Captain America. It's just something that I absolutely adore. And there's a lot more to come from Fantastic Four. This isn't the end of Hickman. Next month, issue 588 is going to be the last issue of, quote, Fantastic Four. It's relaunching in March as FF or something. I don't know. It's a new issue number 1, starting a new era for the Fantastic Four. But Hickman still has this story going forward. There's going to be repercussions for the death, not just within the family, but the larger superhero community. There's a lot of story left to tell here. Back at the beginning of 3, We saw this great scene with Valeria Richards, the daughter of Reed and Sue, dealing with Doctor Doom. We still haven't seen anything come from that. Franklin Richards, Reed and Sue's son, has regained his reality-altering powers. Definitely going to be a big thing going forward. And I'm just really looking forward to reading Fantastic Four, which prior to this storyline, I don't think I would have ever said. Even though it's been one of Marvel's biggest titles over the years, honestly, it hasn't really been that popular of one. And if it took a death like this to really give this fantastic title the recognition it deserves, then all for the better. Hopefully a lot of readers that jumped on for this issue or this storyline are going to continue reading it, because I really think there's a lot of good stuff there. And that's going to be it for the Comic of the Week. Once again, Fantastic Four, issue 587. For more coming up on comics, games, everything else, as usual, check me out at massivenerd.net, and I'll see you guys next week.